Y'all come on up in here. Come on up in the kitchen. If y'all can hear me and see me, let me know. I need to go over here to the cabinet. I need to find my vanilla extract because I'm getting ready to make a bread pudding. I'll talk to you. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere now. I'm just trying to get my... Okay. Y'all doing all right? Y'all doing all right this time? Good. I know. Y'all saying, Auntie, what you doing with them sunglasses on in the house, in the kitchen? Well, these not sunglasses. I know they look like sunglasses. Some of y'all might be too young to remember when they used to issue you a pair of 3D glasses when you went to the movies. Anybody on here old enough to remember the 3D glasses you got when you went to the movie? They look like sunglasses. They were black shades. Some of them were, had white frames on them, but they were 3D glasses so that you could see the movie in three-dimensional format. And I have these glasses on because I realize that some of y'all are having a lot of problems in your life. And if you don't stop, you're going to do irreparable damage to your life if y'all keep doing this 3D dating. You know, that kind of dating that gets you in trouble. Y'all doing that 3D dating. The kind that will have you jacked up and messed up forever if you don't get out of it. Or have sense enough to thank God when they walk out your life and leave them alone. A lot of you do not have any idea the destruction that comes in your life when you date people who are in denial, delusional, and dysfunctional. Did you hear me? Denial, delusions, and dysfunction. Those 3 Ds. And that 3D dating will mess up your life. Some of you are this French bread. You got to have that for bread pudding. Some of you are reasonably in good mental health. But you are jeopardizing your mental health. You are jeopardizing your mental health with 3D dating by dating people who are delusional, in denial, and dysfunctional, just like you would jeopardize your physical health by engaging in sexual activity with a person who has a known plethora of sexually transmitted diseases. You would not go out here and knowingly, willingly, engage in sexual activity with somebody that you knew had an incurable sexually transmitted disease without some form of protection. Yet, you will go out here and engage in 3D dating and not protect yourself against that. Listen, denial, delusions, and dysfunction will cause you to lose your whole self and become crazy by dealing with people who do not get the help they need to come out of those 3 states of disease. That's why I tell people, dating is not therapy. You need to heal before you start humping again. Go somewhere and sit down and get yourself together, because otherwise, because there are so many people who have not done this, do you realize that 3D dating and its effects are a sexually transmitted infection, just like herpes, gonorrhea, chlamydia, HIV? All sexually transmitted diseases are not physiological. Some sexually transmitted diseases will, baby, get down there and mess you up and have your soul and psyche screwed up. Let me tell you something. You got people walking around here in a state of delusion. They're delusional in that they really, truly do. But let me take these glasses off because I think y'all got the point now. They truly believe that they deserve something to which they are not entitled. And yet they have the delusion that they can demand from you something that they don't even have and can't give. See, that type of dating, delusional dating, will have people asking you for something that they won't give you and can't give you. Years ago, there was an old blues song. And it said, if you had $1 and I only had a dime, I wonder, could I borrow yours as easily as you could mine? You hear what they're saying? They say, I wonder, if you had $1 and I only had a dime, could I borrow yours as easy as you could mine? You got people that will ask you for a whole dollar and they won't even give you a dime. And I'm mostly talking to women, but it works for men too. And the reason why I talk to mostly women, because I am a woman. And see, when I start talking to a woman, to younger women about being a woman, not one of you dusty, rusty nut Negroes can come on here and dispute me. Because if you can, out of all the things you might know how to do, you won't never beat me being a woman. However, there are some applications and some life lessons that are universal to anybody. But ladies, let me tell you something. You all are losing yourselves. Young men, some of you too are losing yourselves dealing with people who are delusional enough to believe that they deserve something from you that they don't have and can't give. That's why you have men demanding that a woman be as pure as the driven snow, and they got children strewn all over the community, neighborhood, the state, and the nation. That's why you have men demanding that you make them a plate and they ain't even bought no groceries up in the house. That's why you have people who are delusional enough to believe that you should give them all the benefits of a spouse, and they haven't even made a commitment to you for a long-term relationship. You got men thinking that they can show up at your house anytime and that nobody's supposed to be there but you, and that you should let them in, and they're not even your boyfriend. You got men thinking that they should have a key to your house, baby, but he ain't paying no house note. Ain't even toting a loaf of bread up in there. That's a delusion. You have men thinking that they should be able to call you at the last minute for a Friday night date when the other chick cancels out, but you're supposed to be faithful to him. You have people delusional enough that you have to audition for a role that ain't even open. They got some of you young women out here auditioning, talking about, I need to see your wife's skills. And he's not even looking to commit to you in a relationship. As y'all young folks said, he need to go down there to Veteran Stadium where he can have several seats. By the same token, in that same delusion, you've got women who are looking for men to sweep them off their feet. Take them away and put them in a beautiful home. Buy them a Mercedes Benz and give them a lifetime of security, and they can't even make a biscuit. And if you gave her the recipe, she couldn't even read it because she got them tarantulas sitting up over her eyelids. That's delusional. They want everything from you, but will give you nothing. They think they deserve to be treated oh so well, but to you, they want to be everything. They want to be a priority with you when you are just an option with them. You got men that think that you should be at their beck and call, but they don't even call. All that Negro do is text. He wants you to be a woman like Grandma, but he can't nearly be the man Grandpa was. Grandpa had 100 acres of land, 3 mules, a farm. Grandmama never had to work outside the home, and when Granddaddy closed his eyes, Grandmama still going out to the mailbox, Granddaddy visiting her or getting direct deposit every month. That same man, you ask him to cash out you $20, he'll have a little light coronary artery, myocardial infarction, an anterior wall heart attack, and damn near die because you asked him for $20 or $30. Delusional. By the same token now, you got a lot of women out here think that dating is a hustle. You ask her out on a date, she think you supposed to buy her an outfit, pay her babysitter, and pick up 4 Happy Meals on the way to the house when y'all get through with the date. It don't work like that. That's a delusion. They listening at somebody who making money off of what they say while making a fool out of them, knowing good and well none of that works in the real world. In the real world, people who build healthy relationships, even healthy friendships. As a matter of fact, you can't even have a business partnership without what they call reciprocity. When it comes to me, baby, you got to wager just as much as you expect to win. Don't let that go over your head. Delusions of grandeur, delusions of entitlement will have you thinking that you're not good enough for somebody who don't even have enough. And I know what I'm talking about because I've been there. I've been through a time in my life where I thought I had to prove something to somebody that didn't have nothing. They couldn't prove nothing to me. You going around here trying to prove that you good enough for somebody who ain't even got enough. 3D dating with delusions. Then you going around here engaging in life-altering decisions about your life with people who are in denial about theirs. You got 40-year-old people out here won't go and take a job because they think they finna release the greatest rap album. Baby, if he going to the studio to produce a rap album, that's great. But does he have any life insurance? How long you gonna be his fiance? You can't be nobody damn fiance for no 5 or 6 years. We done elected another president. You still talking about this my fiance. You in denial and he is too. They tell you, I don't want a relationship. But you gonna make them be your fiance. Remind me to tell you the story of Vanessa and her magic vagina. You got people going around here in denial about their life and their lifestyle. You got folks going around here drinking a 12-pack of beer every day when they get out of work and they don't know they're alcoholic. They got to have it. They can't go not one day without it. And you sitting up there watching them beginning to ease right on down that slippery slope of alcoholism, where you'll be coming home every day not knowing whether you can live in peace because you finna share residences with a drunk. A mean, combative drunk that might just whoop your ass. You dating in denial because when y'all got in that argument and he punched a hole in your wall because he just had, a couple of beers, He in denial because he don't know he got a drinking problem, and you in denial because you think you can change it. Denial. You looking at whole generations of little boys that was raised by single mothers, yet they hate women that have children, and you think that all of a sudden if y'all can just get together and be a family, that he gonna treat your child right. Baby, whether you know it or not, you might be dealing with Chester the molester or Peter the child beater. You can't change it. And that denial that you have about who you dealing with and what situation you really see, and the denial that they have that it can't be them. I'm not an alcoholic because I go to work every day. I'm not suffering any trauma from my childhood because I got a degree, a good job, and a title in my corporate job. I'm over my past relationship because I've dated 2 or 3 people since then. See, all of that denial is eventually going to destroy you. If they can't admit that they have a drug or a drinking problem, then you need to be able to admit it and do something about it. If they can't admit that they lose their cool by punching holes in the walls and breaking dishes and stuff, you need to be able to see it and get out of it. See, a leopard can't change his spots because the spots ain't on the fur. The spots are actually in the skin. So even when you shave a leopard down to his skin, the spots gonna still be there. And without some serious intervention, there is no change. Now, I don't know who that is calling me. But they can wait, because you know what? That telephone right there, the smartest thing in the house, and everybody tell you who called, when they called them, they tell you what they're calling for, if you know who it is when you look at the display. But delusions and denial are 2 dimensions of that 3D dating that will destroy your life. You dating people that think that you ought to do something for them that they can't do for themselves and are not willing to do for you. You trying to prove something to somebody. You trying to prove you good enough to somebody who ain't got enough. And then you sitting there looking at something right before your eyes and swearing to God that it ain't what it is, or that he'll change, she'll change. Nuh-uh. Baby, take them at face value. Whatever they are when you meet them, that's who they are. Especially if they done had as many birthdays and blown out as many birthday candles as some of us have. 35, 40, 45, 50 years old, baby. It's just like Geraldine used to say on the Flip Wilson show. What you see is what you get. It is what it is. And I'm going to tell you another thing, ladies. Every time you see that ex and she trying to tell you something, she might not be bitter and mad and jealous of you. She might be trying to save your damn life. Trust me, honey. When you meet that ex and she cool and calm enough with you to tell you to be careful, she might not be pouring, you saying she pouring salt. Salt will preserve you. She might be telling you something that's going to save your life. She might be telling you something that she wished somebody had told her before she got too deep in with it. She ain't hating. Especially when you look at him and he living pillar to post, and that woman that went on with her life and got her whole life together. She ain't mad with you. She glad you got her problem for her. She knows something that you still got to find out. And if you listen to her, she might can help you find it out before it's too late. It ain't all cause she bitter and jealous. Delusions and denial. The last thing is, a lot of y'all are trying to get with these people and dance around obvious dysfunction in their lives. If you meet a man, young ladies, and he was raised by a toxic mother, sometimes the absent father is an absent father because the toxic mother is a toxic mother. Some men couldn't stay with them women. Every man that's not in his children's lives did not abandon them. Some of them men left there running for their life because they realized they was in a 3D situation with denial, delusions, and dysfunction. You got some people that grew up in a serious state of dysfunction that caused them to be delusional and be in denial because they don't think nothing wrong with what they did. You got whole families of people that engage in destructive behavior and they can't see anything wrong with it because that's what they folks always did. That kind of dysfunction creates some of the narcissists and sociopaths that you all are trying to negotiate a relationship with. That's why whenever you bring up something to them that they did wrong to hurt you, they can tell you why you made them do it. And instead of apologizing for their behavior, they tell you it's something wrong with you for being offended by the wrong stuff that they did. Dysfunction. You've got people who will try to excuse their behavior because they do certain things for you. You have men who grew up in the house with toxic mothers. And they'll never be able to treat you right because you got some men around here literally hate their own mama. When you go around them men and their families and they can talk to their mama any kind of way, I don't care what she is. She could be Christine the crackhead, but that's still his mama. If he can disrespect his mama and talk ugly to his mama, there's a level of toxicity there that you can't fix. And it's going to spill over into his relationship with you. If when you meet a young lady and you ask her about her father, the first thing she go, my daddy wasn't yet. Baby, get your hat, your jacket, and your keys and get up out of there. Because if she can talk that disrespectfully and with that much disdain and contempt about her daddy, she ain't got nothing else in her that will ever allow her to respect another man. I don't care if you build her the Taj Mahal and fly her around the world on an Arabian magic carpet. Get out. If he cuss his mama out, he gonna stomp a mud hole in you, young lady. Because see, that level of dysfunction goes way further back than you can reach to fix. If they come from a whole family of people that put having a good time before having a good stable foundation to live on, you ain't gonna be able to stop that Negro from catching his check, going down to the pool hall, shooting dice, and drinking top shelf liquor before he come home and make sure the lights on. If she come from one of them families that ain't got nothing but a bunch of aunties, her mama, none of her mama's sisters ain't got a husband, ain't nothing there but mamas and aunties and cousins and nieces and nephews. You can't find a half a husband between them nowhere. You better get your hat and get out of there, because that type of woman is not used to being under the authority, protection, or the provision of a man, and ain't gonna ever respect it. I don't care if you bust your back to give her everything you make. If you meet a man and every one of his aunties is like that, and he's never been around a man, he's going to believe that you can put a rabbit out your hat or pull it out your ass one, because he ain't going to think that he got to do nothing, because he going to think you're supposed to be the one to go out and make everything happen. Dysfunction. And when you deal with somebody in dysfunction, denial, and delusions, you're going to get them other 3 Ds in your life. Debt, disease, drama. You're never going to be able to have financial stability, because people that are too crazy to be told anything because they are delusional and in denial, they don't believe that a black cow can eat green grass and give white milk. If he come from a set of good timing folks, he going to put a good time before he puts a good foundation together. This is the type of person that'll drive around here sharp as Uncle Dick was when they had a dad, with rims on his car, and won't even have a $10,000 burial policy to put his ass in the ground when he leave him. That's somebody that's going to fill your life with dis-ease, because you can't tell them how to eat. You can't tell them they smoke too much. You can't tell them they drink too much. You don't tell them they need to be stop smoking and drinking. They're going to be old, sick, and carry you down with them and worry the hell out of you. Drama, that other 3D, baby, when them baby mamas get through calling your phone and them baby daddies get through knocking on your door and bill collectors and everybody else, you ain't gonna have no peace at your house and nowhere else. And then you gonna have disease, mental disease, blood pressure up, sugar running high. All because you dealing with that 3D man in denial, that 3D woman in dysfunction, and become a delusional couple full of nothing but disease, drama, and death. And will eventually bring some more offspring in the world and then create a family full of nothing but disorder and chaos. And then there you go. Your life is destroyed. You spent the last 20 years trying to patch up a hole. And every time you rob Peter to pay Paul, here come Johnny with something else going on. When you see something that is blatantly wrong, you ain't going to be able to fix it. Stop trying to prove that you such a man that you can fix this woman. And stop believing that you's a ride or die chick. Because ride or die only means that he going to ride you until you die. And when you dead, go on to the next. Disease, drama, debt, disorder are the only things that come out of these 3D relationships full of dysfunction, denial, and delusions. If you need further clarification about this, we can talk about this more. But until then, I hope y'all won't be walking around holding hands with nobody thinking you in love with them 3D glasses on. I got a bread pudding to make. I'll talk to y'all later. Remember, denial, delusion, dysfunction will only bring you disease, debt, drama, and disorder. Bye.